It is really empty today. You'd think that there was nothing coming out this week. What are y'all talking about? What's up, everyone? Renee here, back in the car again, keeping warm from the cold because I just came out of watching the new Wonka movie starring Timothée Chalamet. I'm going to start off by saying this. Growing up, I was a moderate fan of the classic Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was one of those movies that used to show in school during auditorium time, but it always ended in the same spot every time they showed that movie. And for whatever god awful reason, they never decided to show any other movie but that. So it took me a very long time to actually watch the complete movie from beginning to end, but I did so at a later stage in life, so more in my teens. And I think that was a perfect time for me to watch it because it helped me understand a lot of the nuances of the movie and the story, and appreciate a lot of the, I guess, absurdity and craziness that Wonka and the universe around it is kind of involved in, right? So, and then obviously there's the Tim Burton stuff that was just like, okay, I don't know, this is way out of left field, very Tim Burton-ish and all that. So when I heard that this movie was coming out, I was like, all right, maybe this is a chance to kind of revigorate, bring this back into the forefront, and get newer eyes on this type of story. Maybe help them get more interested in the original and everything like that. And with Timothée Chalamet attached to it, I thought that was going to be a pretty good choice to play this younger version of Wonka, right? The director, again, going back, I've never watched any of the Paddington movies. However, watching this, I can understand why those movies have done so well, because this is a very charming film, and it's a film made for family and for kids, right? Or for those with young at heart type of mentalities and everything like that. It is a musical all throughout, and there's a lot of singing and dancing and performing. It's almost like you're watching a Broadway musical like that. And that's not a bad thing in a movie like this. Personally, when the movie started and maybe in the first act, I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I'm finding a lot of this stuff a little bit cringy. I don't know if I can get into this. But as the movie kept going, the more the charm kind of like warmed me up. And I found myself laughing at a lot of the stuff, really getting a lot of entertainment from the film as a whole. Timothée Chalamet is very charming himself. I think being a New York kid, growing up around Broadway and all that stuff, I feel like this is a dream role for him because now he can be the theater kid that I'm sure he's always wanted to be. I thought he played a very good younger version of this Wonka character. Very interesting to see that he is still a little bit nutty, but not to the extent as we know the Gene Wilder version to be, in his much older stages in life, right? I think for me, the pure comedy gold in this entire thing, and this is, don't get me wrong, this is a comedy. It's like a comedy musical. There's a lot of laughable moments in here. Keegan-Michael Key, his portrayal of the chief of police was hilarious. It's hard for me to explain right now, but if you do see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. At first, it was a little off-putting when he was trying to put on this kind of accent as if he's like an old-timer, like kind of New Yorker type cop and all that. But it's a lot of things that happened to him later on in the film that made it pretty funny and pretty entertaining. So I think for the most part, having this release during the holidays now is brilliant. And I think for a lot of families who enjoy going to the movies during the holidays, if you want something to take your kids to, this can be an amazing choice for groups of, family groups, or even just like individuals and things like that. It is a very well done movie, and I think the younger generation is definitely gonna, enjoy this movie. Will the new songs that were introduced in this film be as catchy as the songs that we are familiar with from the original? Time will tell. For me personally, maybe not so much. But who knows? You know, it's the younger kids now that are going to be moving on and carrying on a lot of these new traditions. So time will tell. We'll see if all those things catch on and everything like that. But we do hear the classics, some of the classic music. Even though maybe we don't hear its song throughout, we do hear them as kind of scores throughout scenes of the movie. But the main songs like Pure Imagination and the Oompa Loompa song, we do hear that. And of course, it sounds great. The one thing I will say though is I think Timothée Chalamet is not a strong singer, and he did sing a lot of the numbers in here, and I felt like you could kind of tell that they may have had to increase some of the volume of his singing, maybe add some stuff to it. I don't think he's a very strong singer. So that's like one little negative I would put here. But other than that, everything else was really entertaining and enjoyable. If I were to rate this, I will give it a 4 stars. You know, I got turned around because I think in the beginning of it all, I was going to give it 3, to be honest with you. But as the movie kept going and everything was evolving and unraveling in front of me, I found myself smiling, laughing, you know, sometimes like tapping my feet to some of the numbers and everything. So it got me. It charmed me. It charmed the hell out of me. So yeah, it made me give it a 4 stars overall. Will I want to see it again? Maybe not, you know. I definitely want to see a story, and I wouldn't mind if Chalamet did this. I really want to see him go full tilt. I want to see him go nuts, like bananas and all that, to become like the Gene Wilder character persona that we know. We definitely don't get to see that here too much, but I do want to see him get like really nutty and kind of wacky and all that. But who knows? We'll see what happens with this. It does make me want to now see Paddington and see what all the hubbub is about. Why everyone kept praising Paddington for so long. Especially part 2, which I heard from a lot of people is probably one of the best movies they've ever seen. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's it. That's my review reaction out of the theater for Wonka. Let me know in the comments below. Is this a movie you're looking forward to seeing? Or if you have seen it already, what did you think of it? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts out there. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button. If you hated it, hit the dislike button. If you want to stay up to date for all the stuff we do here on the channel, all you got to do is subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified every time a new video is posted. All right, I'm going to head on out. Again, thank you so much for watching. Stay cool, stay classy, stay safe. Catch you in the next one. All right, peace out, y'all.